Okay. Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to another movie review with your boy GorTheMovieGod. That's me. Hello, hi. And I just got back from seeing my Slendy boy. That's right, he finally got his own movie after about 6 years of not being relevant. Here he is. There he is, right there. Slender Man. Slendy boy, like I call him, because calling him Slendy boy just makes him sound like a friend. Like, hey, it's Slendy boy. Me, I'll be Flabby. I'm Flabby boy. That's Slendy boy. But Slender Man sounds a little bit more ominous and scary. But Slendy boy, that's cute. That's cute. That's like the chibi version of Slender Man. That's a Slendy boy. It's a little Slendy boy. Aww. Oh, that's kid version of Slender Man. He was Slendy boy. He had to have been a boy at one point, right? But anyway, why does he wear this business suit? I just want to know. Please let me know in the comments, in the lore, why. Because I don't know. But was he a businessman in the past? I don't know. I don't know why I had to ask that question randomly before I even got into the movie. But I just been thinking about it for the last 3 hours. Before the movie started, after the movie started, and then post-movie. Up until me recording this video, I just been like, why does he wear a business suit? Why? I get the faceless thing, it's creepy, long arms, and you know, he's tall, creepy, imposing. Why the business suit? Tentacles, I get, creepy, you can grab things, whatever. Why the business suit? Is he going to do my taxes? If so, that's good. I hate doing them. So, anyway, Slender Man, I was moderately excited to see. Not because I was actually excited to see the movie. I was more excited to see if the movie would be good. Does that make sense? The movie itself, the trailer, is the first one that came out about 2 years ago at this point. And then the last trailer, which came out like, I think 14 hours ago. It was a really big like gap in between. Because I think this movie's having a hard time. Originally it was supposed to come out in May. And then it got hit with lawsuits because of the whole Slender Man thing that happened a couple years ago. Where the girls tried to sacrifice their friend. Which is unfortunate. And now there's a lawsuit. Which I think, I don't know. Like, I get it. But Slender Man was always popular. It's not like they're Sony, who are shitty film producers, in my opinion. Great video game makers, but shitty film producers. I don't think they were trying to bank on the success, or not the success, or the notoriety that Slender Man has now. I think they're just late to the... They were just late to the game here. I really do think so. So I don't think they're trying to like gain notoriety because of that. And oh, everybody's going to see this movie because this is the thing that made those girls go crazy or whatever. But I was just looking forward to it because I wanted to see if it would be good, because I do like Slender Man. I think it's a good thing of lore. I think the Marble Hornet stuff, even though it had some really terrible acting, and I didn't watch all of it, I only watched like clips of it, I thought it was pretty creepy. I thought it was really creepy that this guy would just kind of follow you and get inside your head and mess with you, make you do things, make you kill yourself. I think it's a really cool, creepy thing. So I was going to say cool. It's real cool that he kills people and kidnaps kids. No, I think it's a really creepy idea, and I like the visual, even though he wears the business suit, which I don't get. Even if you tell me he used to be a business guy, it wouldn't make any sense to me. Why is he wearing a business suit? He really liked that suit before he became a Slender Man. But movie's out, and as you could tell in the beginning, it you know, when I went, obviously it's not great, obviously, but is it at least passable? That's the question. I'm going to tell you right here, this Slender Man movie, could have been way worse. It could have been like Truth or Dare levels, where the characters are completely annoying. There's no scares. Everything's laughable. The main villain is ridiculous and over the top stupid. It could have been all this stuff. And I know there's going to be people that are saying, oh yeah, it is. It's totally all that. But you know what? Let's say right here, there's some good stuff in this movie. I think the acting, for the most part, especially from Joey King, who I think is a great actress, is solid. I think most of the acting is actually pretty solid, and they do convey the emotions they need to at the right moments, which I've been watching horror movies a lot this year, because there's been a lot, and I feel like a lot of actors this year for horror, besides maybe Unfriended 2, just do not convey the right emotion at the right time. Truth or Dare is a major example of that, where the acting was fucking terrible, and there was just moments where I'm just like, what is happening? What? Luckily, this movie doesn't have that. The acting is pretty solid for the most part, with some iffy supporting actors here and there. There's a couple of characters, mainly the adults, which is kind of strange, where the acting's not the best. There's one character that is the father of a girl that gets that goes missing in this movie, and every time he shows up on screen, he's either over the top, or he's crying, oh, we miss my daughter. And he's pretty bad, but for the most part, the acting's solid enough. It's more than passable. I would say it's decent. There's some creepy moments. They use the Slender Man mythos at times that is effective. I'm going to say they use it at times because that's going to be a negative in a minute. But when they use it, it's effective. Slender Man himself looks cool. He's played by the guy that played the weird, skinny-looking dude at the end of Wreck. If you ever saw that movie, Wreck, R-E-C, which is a great film. I can't remember the name. Is like Javier Batit. I think that's his name. I could be wrong. I could be screwing something up. Maybe it's Javier. But I think it's Javier. But he does a good job. He looks creepy. He stands imposing. He has not much to do when it comes to Slender Man. He just stands around a lot. But he looks good, decent enough. Whatever. Whatever positives. There's some creepy moments. The visual effects, for the most part, when there are visual effects, you can tell they're not. It's not the biggest budgeted movie out there, so they look fine. There's some inventive creepy moments too, not just like, ooh, there he is in the background, but there's like one scene where a girl envisions that she's pregnant. It's in the trailer, by the way, if you saw the trailer, and that was a weird moment. There's a lot of weird moments that I actually kind of liked. I think that's it. I think that's all the positives I can think of. Alright, now let's talk about the rest of the movie. Alright, so while I did say the actors are pretty good in the movie, the characters themselves are pretty annoying and really stupid. It's a horror movie. You have a cast of predominantly white people. You have the one black girl, but for most part, white people, mostly at least. And they do stupid shit. Big surprise that characters in a horror movie do dumb shit. Dumb shit. They know there's a point in this movie where they know the Slender Man thing is real, and they still do dumb shit, which I'm like, why are you doing dumb shit? You know this shit is real. Yeah, at this point you've had so much proof. Don't go, oh, it was just all in my head. Come on, really? All right, so there's a lot of characters doing dumb stuff. They're not really all that likable. The acting is decent enough where I can at least get behind some of the characters. But my main problem with this movie, and I do have other problems, which we'll get to in a minute, but I really want to get to the main problem. Main problem is they don't do much with the Slender Man mythos. Like, I don't know too much about the lore, but I do know some stuff, like him, of course, collecting kids and stuff, which they do touch on here, but all these characters are like in their like teens, like 17, 18 and stuff. Usually Slender Man's depicted as trying to like not kidnap, but like, kind of like, well, yeah, kidnap, but take kids, little kids. That's usually what it's about, and you don't really get that. You get like a couple of videos, which actually kind of reminded me of the last Unfriended movie when they start randomly watching the dark web videos. Here, there's characters that are just randomly watching Slender Man videos, which I don't know how they found these videos. I think there's a site where people post them or something like that. But there's like little girls or whatever, and then there's Slender Man in the background, or there's a kid there with some of the worst acting where he's like, "Oh, I'm Slender Man," and then he turns around and there's Slender Man. There's like little weird videos and stuff like that. That's just very, very oddly put. Like they feel like they were like reshoots. Like they had to put more Slender Man in there. But all those little things. And everything else you get of Slender Man isn't enough. You don't really get that much. Most of the time it's characters going like, we need to find out how to stop Slender Man, or we have to get our friend back, because the whole thing is about this one girl, Katie. They all watch the Slender Man video, which is kind of like the Ring video. When you watch it, you die or something like that. But here, when you watch the Slender Man video that's on YouTube or whatever, not YouTube, it's on some site, then you get infected with Slender Man. Slender Man comes after you and makes you go crazy and stuff. So one of the characters, Katie, decides to peace out and say, yeah, my life sucks. I'm going to go meet Slender Man. We're going to be best chums. And the other friends, all three of the other friends are like, no, we love her. And you're supposed to care about her, audience. Because of the first 5 minutes, we were friends. First 5 minutes, we just palled around in high school. So you should care, audience, right now. So the whole movie is about them trying to get her back. And they follow these dumbass rules and stuff like that on a website. And they contact one of the other Slender Man victims and stuff. And she like tells them what to do and stuff, so they have to go into the forest and do all this stuff. It's stupid, it's dumb, it's cliched, it's stuff we've seen before, and it's stuff we've seen recently. Like I said, with Unfriended, there's actually a lot of stuff that not mimicked, but was very similar to stuff that happened in Unfriended Dark Web, which nobody saw that, so I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. So there's just nothing really about the Slender Man mythos that is really used besides sometimes you see him in the background. Sometimes you see him with tentacles. There's one moment at the end which is pretty good, and actually kind of creepy. But besides that, most of it is like a girl like losing her mind and seeing other people with no faces, or I don't know, a girl with really long hair in the bathtub, or I know this is stuff that's supposed to be about Slender Man making them go nuts, but it just felt like generic horror movie stuff. You know what I mean? It felt like, I don't know, I can't think of the last movie that's about like characters losing their mind. Bye Bye Man. It's like Bye Bye Man. Oh, sorry, I said it. Shit. Oh no, is he here? Oh no. If you hear the coins, that means he's here. Oh fuck, he's here. Oh shit. I think I'm okay. Okay. All right, it's fine. Anyway, that's another thing. The Bobaman, I'll call him Bobaman for now on, so I don't need to say his name. The Bobaman is very similar to Slender Man. I mean, they obviously ripped off Slender Man with Bobaman. If you watch Bobaman, a lot of times all he does is stand there. He's long. He has long fingers, long arms, long legs. He's tall. He's not faceless, but he looks like Freddy Krueger. So whatever. They still rip something off there. And he just kind of stands around and points and like scares you. It's very much like Slender Man. So there is parts here that feel like that. So, you know, people going insane, and they visualize one thing when they're actually doing something else. Like at one point, a girl thinks she's being strangled by Slender Man, but she's actually just strangling herself, which is a really dumb and kind of funny visual, because she's strangling herself and she looks in the mirror and she goes, ah! It screams really loud, and it's like one of those movie screams where it like trails off and it like cuts to a different scene, and I'm just sitting here like there's a couple moments like that. There's one part where a girl's making out with a guy. Not gonna guess where this is going. Guess what? She's making out with Slender Man. That would have been hilarious if that was the scene where she's making out with the guy and then she like closes her eyes and opens it. It's Slender Man. That would have been funny. They should have did that. Why didn't they do that? But no. What happens is like she starts making out and then she starts hearing things, and then she starts seeing the guy like freak out and stuff. And that part was fucking hilarious because he was like doing the like Silent Hill, like Jacob's Ladder thing where he's like moving his head around very fast and stuff. It's all blurry. But then there's like moments where his face is all contorted, so it looks like he's just going, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Is Slender Man being a dick? Just like, I'm gonna make him look fucking stupid while I'm making out with this girl. Watch, I'm gonna do that. What a dumbass. Like, Slender Man doesn't know how to work a face, maybe, because he doesn't have his own. So when he possesses this guy or whatever, he's like, I don't know how this works. Is this how it works? But it was fucking stupid. There's a couple moments like that are really dumb. Reaction shots that are really hilarious. But yeah, my main problem is that the Slender Man mythos is almost completely devoid in most of this movie until the end and little sections here and there. For the most part, it just feels like a generic horror movie with some guy that's stalking the girls because they watched the video. Feels like if you mixed the Bobaman with the Ring. That's what it feels like. And that sucks because the Bobaman is just a ripoff of Slender Man. So that sucks that I'm saying that. But and Bobaman is a terrible movie, which this here is not as bad. Alright, so let me rapid fire some of my other problems with the movie, okay? Okay, I'll rapid fire a couple, and then there's one I really want to focus on because it really bothered me, and I'm getting a little sick of movies doing this. Alright, so there is no build-up whatsoever with the Slender Man mythos here. When they actually get into the Slender Man stuff, it's about not even 10 minutes into the movie. I swear, the first 5 minutes of the movie, it says, Slender Man. And then it cuts to a bunch of people in high school, and we meet our characters, Joey King and all the other actors and actresses. Well, mostly actresses. It's mainly a female-led movie, but you do have some supporting characters that are male. But we meet them, and they're all friends, buddy. Oh, we're all best chums. Oh, what would you like to do when you grow up and shit like that? So, you know, just stupid, mundane dialogue. The writing is extremely subpar. It's not even horrible. I would say, you know what? I would say, considering we get so many movies that have this kind of writing, it is bad, but technically it's not bad, you know what I mean? But alright, so we get 5 minutes of just characters. I guess we're supposed to care for them now because we spent 5 minutes with them talking and making dick jokes and shit. So alright, later on they all meet up at Katie's house, the girl that goes missing. And they all like, oh, hey, maybe we should hang out and watch videos. And they watch one video, and literally, this is the dialogue. No build up whatsoever. One of the characters just says, let's watch the Slender Man video. And they're like, alright. No build up whatsoever. It's not like little drops of like Slender Man thing, or like someone looking at a thing that says Slender Man, or a character coming up to one of the main characters and saying like, hey man, you hear about the Slender Man stuff? Or not even like they watch news or something like that, and it says kids have gone missing or whatever, and they go, oh, that's kind of weird, and then they like slowly figure out it's Slender Man or whatever. No, it's just, you know, someone says, you want to watch the Slender Man video? Oh, it's sick. So they all watch it, and then they all start freaking out. One of them goes missing, like I said, and yada yada. They meet him. He has a face, or he has no face. He has the absence of face. And it's just it happens so quick. I'm just like, I get it. You want to make a short movie so you can put more screenings out and not waste more people's time or whatever. But the movie, and here's one of my big complaints: the movie obviously is cut down. It's about 85 minutes long if you don't count credits. But there's scenes in this movie that feel like, not scenes, I'm sorry, there are the absence of scenes that feel like should be in this movie. There's characters that once something happens to them, and you're like, oh man, I wonder what's going to happen next. Me, I wasn't wondering this, but there's probably some people that are like, oh my god, that's weird, what's going to happen to them? They don't do anything with it. There's two characters, I don't know why I was holding one finger. Two characters in particular. There's one character who, if you watch the first trailer, they immediately spoil this character's death. And then another character who is the boyfriend that they don't do anything with after there's a big reveal. Which I'll get to it in spoilers. But you can watch the trailer, and not only that, but there's tons and tons of stuff in that trailer that is not in the movie. There's a shot at the end of that first trailer. I'm talking about the one that came out months ago, not the one that came out a couple weeks ago, where there's a girl coming out of the forest with a bloody mouth, and cops are coming at her or whatever, like, oh, there's a girl there, let's go and help her. And it like pans down, she's like holding something, but you don't see it. Not in the movie. That scene is not in the movie. Not at all. I was wondering, like, man, this movie's wrapping up. It doesn't seem like that scene's gonna be in it, because that scene was actually kind of creepy looking. The way the girl's face was, she had a blank stare, blood over her mouth. I'm assuming it was blood. It was like black in the trailer, but I'm assuming it was supposed to be blood, but they cut it out because it was a PG-13 trailer. But that scene's not in the movie at all. There's one scene where someone jams a knife in their eye. Not in the movie. Not in the movie. There's other scenes, little things. Someone jumps off a roof. Not in the movie. Watch the trailer. And then watch the movie if you really want. You know what? I feel like actually watching the trailer and telling you exactly what... You know, I'm going to do it. Screw it. We're going to take a detour from this review and go into that trailer. I know I said rapid fire, but screw it. I'm going to go into that trailer and show you exact scenes that are not in the movie. From my memory, at least. Alright, so I have the trailer pulled up. I'm about 40 seconds in. So, let me tell you right here. This shot right here coming up, that's not in the trailer. Or in the movie. This is, admittedly... This is, but it looks completely different. This part right here where you see the shadow in the corner and it starts rising. That is in the movie, but I will explain what they did in the movie that made it way worse than in this trailer. I don't think that shot's actually in the trailer. In the movie. I keep saying the trailer. I don't know why. This is not in the movie, by the way. Her scribbling him on the wall is not in the movie. This... is in the movie. That's in the movie. That's the guy that starts freaking out. This is in the movie, but it's completely different. It almost felt like it was reshot. Again, that's not in the movie. That's not in the movie. This is not in the movie. This scene, by the way, that's a main character. They spoil that right in the trailer. But guess what? No resolution to that character. You don't ever see that character again after Slender Man starts screwing around with her. So you actually have no resolution, and you don't know what happened to that character. This, admittedly, is in the movie, but that was probably because it was the only really positive thing about the trailer. A lot of people said this looked pretty good. One thing I will say about Slender Man himself, the way he looks here is not exactly what he looks like in the movie. Here, they look like they try to give him more texture to his face. Like, when I see this... it looks like they really tried to make him look, and this is going to sound weird, but they tried to make him look wooden, or like he has like a wooden face or something like that. And if you see the movie, there's a big emphasis on him being a part of the woods, just like in the lore. So I guess I could see what they were trying to do, where they try to make him look like he's made out of wood or something like that. I can't tell if they're trying to make him look like wood or he's just trying to look. They're trying to make him look more grotesque. But I could see them trying to make him look more like if he was made out of wood or something, which is stupid, I know. But like even like his body there, you can kind of see it. You can see like it looks. I don't know. That might just be the suit, though. The suit that I still don't know what the hell. This whole shot right here, this whole scene that you're about to see is not in the movie. The only reason why I bring this up, this whole thing, which actually has some pretty decent cinematography and it actually is kind of creepy, whole thing here, not in the movie. The only reason why I bring this up is there's so many movies out there now, and by the way, that was a shitty 3D effect, that just, although all these shots, by the way, aren't in the movie, that just lie to you completely and say, oh, look all the creepy shit in here, you go see some creepy shit, and then I'm like, nope, then just go put some generic creepy shit in there. We tricked you. And I'm assuming they delayed the movie about 3 months, so I'm assuming they probably did some reshoots to the movie, which is strange, because I mean if no one liked the movie, obviously didn't spend too much on the movie. If nobody liked the trailer, which I wouldn't say nobody liked it, I think most people were like either meh or it looks okay towards the trailer, I believe, at least. I'm sure someone will say, no, I thought it looked like shit, which is fine. That's fine if you thought it looked like shit. But why would, like, reshoot it to lie, pretty much, and then never post another trailer until 2 weeks before the movie comes out? It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. Alright, so I got through what I really wanted to talk about. The movie itself, while it has creepy moments, it's not as scary as it should be. The Slender Man thing, while being kind of silly, let's not kid around. If it was called something else, if his name was, I don't know, Joe Bob or something, actually that's worse, but if his name was something else, not Slender Man, then I think people wouldn't be saying he's as silly as he is. Also, maybe if he's not wearing a business suit, because the business suit is kind of weird. But, you know, a faceless, long-armed, long-legged creature that just stalks in the woods and takes you and takes kids and stuff is creepy. Impales you on branches. Like, this is stuff that is creepy, I think so. It gets inside your head and like makes you like love him. That's pretty much what he does, which is not in this movie, by the way. That's one major thing I would say that really doesn't come across, is that a lot of characters are obsessed with him, but not to the point where they love him. The Katie character is, but you don't see her ever again. She just leaves. You never see her again after she leaves, which I'm sure is like cut down stuff. I'm sure that that girl at the end of this trailer is actually supposed to be Katie, but I couldn't tell actually. It's supposed to be some character. I don't know. To be honest, I'm already completely forgetting everybody's face from this movie. I'm not gonna lie. So that might have been the Katie character. But besides that, no one else is like obsessed with him or anything like that. Most of them are either scared of him, trying to figure out how to get rid of him, or oblivious to him completely. So it's just, I don't know. It's weird that this movie is out and it's not capitalizing on its main selling feature, which is the Slender Man. I feel like, not saying I want to see him a lot more, I'm just saying just like have him in there a little bit more and then do more creepy stuff with him. There's a couple of things. There's one scene at the end where someone becomes a tree. I'll say that. Creepy. It was actually kind of creepy, and it was actually a really good shot too. And it was actually a nice visual. The special effects were actually pretty good. So I'll give them that. That looked good. But my other main problem with this movie, besides the lore, and I've been saving this for the end, I don't know what happened. As you can see, let me go through the trailer again, actually. I just want to show you. Right here. Like I said, right here with this shot. This shot right here, with the shadow coming out of the doorway, that's in the movie. This shot's in the movie, I believe. But for some reason, during post-production, I was going to say post-processing, post-production, they decided to make everything extremely dark. And I don't mean in tone, I mean in visuals. The movie is dark as a motherfucker. There's times where you cannot tell what you're looking at. And I don't know what they did, because obviously, like I showed you, these shots aren't that dark, right? So they must have made it dark. Like, look, this shot, not that dark. Which makes sense, because you want to emphasize when it's getting darker, right? With the wall getting darker. So it makes sense that you would brighten the photo up a little bit so you can see the darkness. When that shot happens in the movie, you cannot see You cannot see the darkness rising until it's already like enveloped the entire hallway. There are so many shots where you cannot tell what you're looking at when you're supposed to be creeped out. There's one shot of Slender Man in the woods when the main girl is talking to her boyfriend, and she looks over and sees the Slender Man with the tentacles. And I only noticed the tentacles because there was one part of the woods where you could see some sunlight coming out of the trees and stuff. You know, where you could see the sunlight coming out of the trees. Do you know what I mean? Not coming out of the trees, but whatever. You can see some sunlight, and I saw something kind of move past the sunlight. And I was like, what is that? Oh, that's a tentacle. Oh, these are tentacles. You couldn't tell because the movie's so dark and dreary at times. It's really unfortunate because I think some of this stuff could be creepy if they brightened it up just a wee bit, you know, a wee bit. But there's times where the movie is so fucking dark, you can't tell what's happening. So overall, I spent too much time with Slender Man. I think it's a dull movie. I didn't mention this. The movie is pretty boring too at times. And it's also generic with some of its jump scares. It really is. It's that kind of jump scare where it's like someone's moving towards something and the music's ramping up, and then they open the door, there's nothing there, and then the character's like, guess nothing was there, and then they turn around and oh, there's a Slender Boy. Slender Boy's there. So there's jump scares like that, which is a problem. But I guess at this point I'm just used to them, where I'm just like, whatever. At least I got to see Slender Man. There he is. I don't know. That's a main thing. I feel like you could have done way more way more mentally creepy stuff. Does that make sense? Mentally creepy? Is that even a thing? Where you're not scared physically, where you like move and go, oh, and then you forget about it. In your brain, you're like, fuck, he's there. Is he behind me now? Is he? Where is he? I don't know. It's just like it's jump scares and oh, there he is. It's like it sets the audience up for the scare. That's the one thing I hate, though. Is like it's so obvious. People have seen all these horror movies. They can't possibly really expect, oh, there's actually gonna be a jump scare there when the music's ramping up. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna fake us out and then jump scare us. I don't know. I'm done. I'm gonna give this movie. I don't hate it. That's the thing. Like I actually did enjoy parts of it. I know it sounds like I really did hate it, but there's parts in this movie I did like, and I didn't hate my time. There are boring parts, like I said, but the actors did good, and there's creepy moments. I was just more disappointed that they did not do anything with the Slender Man mythos. Now, if you don't like the Slender Man at all, and you're sick and tired of horror movies, you're gonna hate this movie. You're gonna hate it. And I'm talking about modern horror movies. There's amazing ones, and mainly more mainstream ones is what I'm talking about. There's amazing indie ones. Hereditary is one of my favorite movies of this year. I wouldn't consider it indie because it came out from a pretty well-established studio, and also it came out in a lot of theaters, and it had some pretty good, pretty big name actors for the most part. But whatever. Point is that it was great. You should see it. And Annihilation, I would consider a horror movie, even though most people call it a sci-fi movie. That movie has some of the scariest shit I've seen this year. I just wish it was better. I have to give it an 18 out of 40. That's like a 4.5 out of 10. Not terrible, just below average. Almost passable. Sucks. Sorry, Slendy boy, but your time has come to die. Just like all other memes. Sorry. Too little, too late. That's what this movie should be called. That's going to be the title of this video. Too little, too late, Slendy boy. Too little, too late. There you go. Thank you. And until next time, goodbye.